really wet already, Sarah. Fill out this water. Oh, hold on, Ellen. Thank you. Okay.
Hi friends, how are you today? It's Sarah J and welcome to my creative space. Today it's all about the humble lemon. I've got some here. Lemons are so beautiful and they're so fresh. It's something about nature that I just love, is each lemon is uniquely special and not like another lemon. There was the saying, well, there is a saying that when you get lemons, make lemonade. But for me, while that is true, and you know, if you have a difficult situation, make something better out of it. For lemons are happiness for me. So when I was little, I used to sit under my lemon tree in my backyard at my parents' place, and I would just eat lemons. I guess that started the love of the sour lollies. And of course, that's a whole other thing. But I also love lemons warmed up in water. One of my friends, Alex, long-term friends in Queensland, got me started on lemon water years ago. And it's a really great way to start the day. So I'll be sipping that here today. I encourage you to do the same. So I've been on a bit of a lemon obsession lately. And it started at a dinner party with some friends, and they had all these lemons that they brought from their home, and they got an overflowing lemon tree. So I was like, yes, please, I love lemons. And if you don't have to buy it, it's always good. So that was great. And then it seemed like everywhere I went, I'd see lemons on fashion. I would see the color yellow. I think I must have been drawing them to me. So that's just continued. And lately, of course, we're coming into spring. All the lemons are flourishing and blossoming. And, you know, I pick up a few over the fence as I pass with my walk, on my walk with Snow. And yeah, take them home, pop them in my pocket if it squeezes in, or in my little bag that I take. And then, of course, I made lemon cake when I had a few people over, and that was delicious. So yeah, and then I was like, you know, what am I going to do for my first painting official video in my creative space? I thought, lemons, of course. So today I am going to be painting lemons. So what I've done is I've created a still life. I've gone in my front yard and I grabbed some camellias, some white camellias, which have a hint of yellow in them. And I've popped my lemons in and I've put it in this gorgeous tray that I won at a Kris Kringle family event years ago that I love, and it's also green, so that picks up on the green leaves. And yeah, I thought it would be a great composition and a fun thing to do today. So I'll be using gouache. I'll be starting with soft pencil. I'll be moving into gouache, and then I'll be doing some overlays with soft pastels, which is one of my favorite mediums that I like to use. And also I'll be playing a bit of guitar in the background. We've got my beautiful Eastman acoustic guitar, which I have a little obsession with as well. And I'll also be telling you a few stories and just doing a little bit of sharing along the way, talking about the work and maybe introducing some other stories. Anyway, I hope that you enjoy it, and I will see you on the other side of the painting. Get your lemon juice. So just to start off, I decided to put my lemons in a bowl with some flowers. I just thought the camellias would really set off the lemons. And the bowl, as I mentioned earlier, it's got a lovely green colour on the bottom, so I think that would complement the still life. Sometimes it's tricky working out how you put your composition together, but I think the key is to not overthink it and just think about what colours complement the other, and ultimately what is your ultimate goal. And then once you've come up with that, you just put it together. In this one I really wanted it to feel quite natural, so lemons kind of thrown in the bowl as if you would be, I guess, using it in your kitchen. So that's how I came up with the composition. And from there I just need to decide, well, what materials am I going to be using for this painting? So the way often my mind works is I have an idea which kind of germinates over time, and the idea kind of goes into different levels, and it starts with the idea and then I start to think about materials, and it's like a movie in my mind, and the movie sort of plays out. So I knew I wanted to paint it, and I thought gouache would be good because gouache is quite vibrant colours. It's a little bit thicker than watercolour, and I thought it would work well for the picture that I wanted to do. And the other two things I'd be using would be my Progressive Graphite pencil. I'll see if I can link these in the description. It's all very new for me, but I'll see if I can do it. If not, I'll do it later for you. So yeah, it's called the Progresso Graphite pencil. I think it's 2B, and it's a great pencil. It's got a really nice feel, and I can use it on canvas, I can use it on paper, and it doesn't smudge. And that's key for me when I'm starting a picture, because you don't want to start smudging even before you start painting. So removing smudges, it can be done, but it's not ideal. So the paper I've decided to use today is the Montmartre Watercolour paper. I think it's 300 GSM. It's A3 size, and I like that size. I feel like it's a really good size for what I'm doing. And it's acid free, and it's nice quality, and it's got a rough sort of tooth, or they call it a rough tooth, so it's a little bit rougher, and the gouache paint sits nicely into it, and it creates a little bit of texture. You'll see it at the end, which I think is nice. It makes it look more like, I suppose, on canvas. And also with this paper, you can layer a bit better. So you can start with your pencil, you can put your gouache in, of course I dry it off, or your watercolor. And then I can go over the top of it with a bit of pastel, not too much, because you might start to see the effects of too many layers on paper. But I really like it, so yeah, it's a really good one for this. So I just wanted to take a step back now that I've talked about materials and say how I get into my happy creative space before I start painting. Painting is one of those things that you really need to do your best work. You need to be in a really relaxed, happy place, or at least a relaxed place. You can be sad too if you want, which is fine. But you really want to be relaxed and not feel rushed in your mind. So creating calmness is really important for me. So on my painting days, I always start with meditation, prayer, and I just get myself into a really calm state, really relaxed, pretty chilled. I often will paint a little bit later, so I'll get up and have breakfast and, walk the dog, spend some time looking at beauty and nature. Nature is for me really an inspiration, and I think I do my best art when I've been outside in that morning and I've just taken it all in. Fresh air, local flowers, it could be anything really. It could be the butterflies, it could be a really unique tree that I see. I just stop and have a look, and I try very hard not to listen to anything in my AirPods. I just really listen to nature, and it's very soothing, and just hearing snow's pitter patter of her feet on the concrete, it just creates a really great chilled space in my mind. And then I go home and I, might just do what I usually do, and I tidy up. I think everyone's really different, and I think you just have to be who you are, and whatever gets you into that comfortable place, that relaxed place where you feel like you want to create, your heart's open. Having an open heart for me is really important to do beautiful art. So yeah, I just get everything ready. I make a cup of tea or whatever I'm having that morning, or my lemon water, which I've been having a lot lately, of course, because I'm obsessed with lemons. And put on some music. Music for me is a huge inspiration for getting creative. When I put music on, I get into a zone. I remember years ago when I was working in the city, and it was in a process improvement role. And I also did portrait drawing at a local TAFE, which I just loved. And when I used to go to portrait drawing after a really busy day at work, I would literally walk in there and they would put on the classical music. They'd have the model, and I'd just start drawing, and I just loved it. And so since then, I've just always put on music, and it just gets you into a rhythm, and you kind of just lose track of all time, which I love. So today I thought I would chat about nature and its unique beauty. I am constantly inspired by it, and when I look at lemons, I see beauty, and the color is so vibrant, but each lemon is completely different. And that's the thing that is so amazing about the world that we live in, is everywhere you look, there is beauty, but it's different. And for me, I like to capture the beauty of nature in art. So that's really about being true to its authenticity. And with this lemon, it's really trying to capture the vibrancy of a lemon. And yeah, so over the course of painting these lemons, I'm kind of like bonding with the lemon, if that makes sense. And also with the beautiful camellias. The camellias I haven't mentioned, but they're an important offset for the lemons. And we look at the camellias just as much as the lemons, but the lemons are, for me, the most important part of the picture. So when I was thinking about this painting in my quiet time in the morning, I couldn't help but think about the Garden of Eden. And I am familiar with the story. I'm sure a lot of us are. But the thing that is so interesting about the Garden of Eden is we are so often thinking about what happened and what went wrong. And, the Adam and Eve took the fruit that was forbidden, etc., etc., and we know the end of the story. But what I do like to think about is what it was like before that happened, and the beauty of the garden. I had a bit of a look through the Bible to see what it said about the Garden of Eden, and I found a particular account which I thought was really cool, and I'll just have a read of that one. So it says, the Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. And it talks about the tree of life, which is, of course, very important. And then there was a river watering the garden that flowed from Eden. And I think about how absolutely beautiful the garden would have been, surrounded by a river, and everything was perfect. So the idea that there was no rotting, there were no bugs that were eating away at the plants, and the beautiful fruit trees. And there's another verse, and it says that that man was put in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And that's another big one for me, is that we have a responsibility to this world and to nature, to conserve it and to look after it and care for it. That is part of our responsibility, whether or not you believe what the Bible says or not. I think we can all agree that looking after nature is really important, and it's important for the people that go, after us and our kids. I forgot to mention it, the pastels I'm using are Faber-Castell pastels. They're really, really beautiful. They've got vibrant colors, and I've just got a 48 one that I was using today because I really like the colors in that particular pack, and I didn't have to be opening a few, which I sometimes do. So the key thing here I'm doing is really starting to highlight some areas and develop some more definition, particularly with shaping. So shaping the lemons and also shaping the camellias. The camellias are white, but there is yellow in it. And the thing about painting is we see different things and we see different colors. And we might see colors that other people don't even see. And we'll shade it using contrasting colors, which is something you can learn. You can get an art wheel and you can see the differences in the color. And that's how I learnt in art school, is checking out contrasting colors like blue and orange. And then those colors will work well with shadows. So if you've got an orange flower, you can use blue as a shadow. So yeah, I'm just adding in some highlighting here and really just trying to create some, I guess, dynamicness to it. I don't know if that's a word. And bringing out different parts of the flower and the lemons. One of the things I like to do is to try and make things feel like they're more alive. So really trying to shape them using shadow and lines. And I've attempted to do that here with the lemons. And I've also added some orange in the camellias and on the lemon and throughout the table that it's on. And that's another thing that I've learned over the years, is to not be afraid to bring colors into different elements of the picture, because it kind of just brings it all together with the eye. And the eye's trying to look for the connecting dots, and it's a really great way to connect the dots. Yellow painting finished. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you are inspired to paint some yellow lemons, or even just draw some. So next time you're looking at a lemon in the kitchen, think, maybe I'll just take out a piece of paper. I think the thing that I've learned about drawing and painting is, as artists, you can overthink. And I think you just need to take out the paper, take out a pen. Even if you have a black one, you can always add color in later and just start drawing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to sharing more painting and drawing with you in the future. And if you are interested, please subscribe so you can be notified of our next upload. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the time we had together. Peace out. Had enough of the day there. Oh, you're my sweet girl. Yes. Sleep well, darling.